Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here playing The Division 2, and in this video I'm going to show you how to grind the playing cards in the game, and doing so will unlock you an achievement or trophy called Suits You, Sir, for collecting any suit of cards in the open world. Now before we get started, I wanted to mention that just kind of grinding this out normally would probably take you around 10 hours if you were incredibly lucky, all the way up to 25 hours if you were incredibly unlucky. However, in this video, I'll be showing you a bunch of farming methods and a bunch of strategies to help you bring down the time to do this below the 5-hour mark, even around 3 or 4 hours if you have a couple of buddies who are willing to help and do this together at the same time. Now, if you are unfamiliar with how this achievement works or how this collectible works, the cards are a type of collectible that is a 100% guaranteed drop from any named enemy in the open world. And there are a couple of spawns of these enemies. You can kind of find them all over. And the kind of kicker to it is that you can only have one named enemy spawn every 30 minutes of real time. So there is actually a time gate here from going back to back and killing as many as possible. Additionally, if you die while fighting a named enemy, they will not be there once you respawn. You only get one chance every 30 minutes, so make sure you have that self-reviving hive grenade like I just used. After you do kill the named enemy, make sure you grab the collectible by walking up to them. It will also show you exactly what card you unlocked in the bottom left corner, and every time you kill a named enemy, it will be a unique card. If you'd like to see how many cards you currently have, you can pause the game, go to progression, tab over to the collectibles tab, go to the database icon, and then scroll down all the way to the bottom. We need to fill one of these 4 decks of cards. Now that we have a quick and fundamental understanding of how these enemies work, let's get right into the actual farming method. Obviously, because these are random, getting 13 exact cards you need out of a 52 card deck would involve a lot of luck. However, there is a very specific way that you can get the exact card that you want, and it is based on the following strategy. First, you want to go and spawn at the base of operations. Next up, you want a gun that has a very long range scope on it, so you can use the sharpshooter specialist or attach a 12-time scope to any of your rifles. After doing that, I just showed you on the map where we're going. There is a large ring where the enemies will spawn, and on the way to the ring from the White House, there is a small pond of water, and we want to make sure that we do not, under any circumstance, go past that pond of water. What we're trying to do is we're trying to use our scoped rifle to see the enemy types that spawned on the first kind of waypoint I made. The crucial thing to know here is that the card that drops from an enemy is based on the faction that that enemy is from. So if you're unfamiliar, the game has 4 factions, which are Black Tusk, Hyenas, Outcast, and True Sons. You want to make sure you don't push past the pond too much, or this will count as spawning the enemy, and this next trick will not work. Based on the enemy type, if it is the type you want, you can just now engage. But if it is not the type you want to fast travel back to the White House and repeat these steps. Now, how do you know if it's the type you want? Well, it's a very easy trick based on the naming scheme of the enemies. I'll leave this chart on the screen for about 20 seconds, but if you're looking for diamond cards, you're looking for Black Tusk enemies, and their naming scheme is usually a first name, a nickname, and then a last name. If you're looking for spades, those are the Hyenas. You are basically looking for a one-word nickname. If you are looking for the Outcasts, usually they have a name that begins with the. And then we have the True Sons, which are usually based on military ranks. There are a couple of outliers here and there, but these are more general rules that will always apply. So basically what you want to do is focus on one faction and keep repeating this process until you get the named enemy you need, and then take them out, and then wait 30 minutes of real time, and then do it again until you get the enemy you need, and do it again and again. This way, instead of having to get all 52 cards and getting lucky, you can focus on getting the exact 13 cards you need. Now, doing this solo will still take you over 7 hours probably, considering that you won't get lucky anyways. You'll have to redo the spawns a couple times anyways, but there is a way to kind of speed up the process if you are willing to do this with friends. Now, like we established earlier in the video, there is a 30-minute spawn timer between these named enemies. However, that is only for your game and your instance. What you're watching on screen right now is a clip where I just personally killed a named enemy in my game, and I grabbed the collectible, and then my friend who was in his own game sent me an invite. I joined up, and we killed the enemy that spawned in his world, and I was able to basically get 2 collectibles in 2 minutes. At this point, I would go back to my own world, and we could repeat this process over and over. Unfortunately, only one person is going to kind of be able to double up, while the other person will not be able to. But you can kind of stack this with more people. So if you have 4 people doing it, the first person kills an enemy, joins player 2 and player 1 kill an enemy, they join on player 3, and so on and so on. If you guys are obviously all being friendly towards each other and sharing it in such a way that everyone is getting the same amount of cards, you can do this in about 3 or 4 hours. It would also be beneficial towards your group, obviously, if everyone was going for the same suit of cards. So if you're going for diamonds, make sure that your friends are going for diamonds too. So when you pair up this kind of friendly boosting method with the farming method where you get to basically pick which enemy you get, you can really cut down on that time, and an achievement that would normally take 25 hours is possible in under 3, given the right circumstances and the right group of people. Another way to actually speed up this process is by boosting this before you reach World Tier 1. This will basically allow you to never spawn Black Tusk enemies, which means that you only have to worry about 3 of the suits of cards instead of 4. So basically you have a slightly better chance at spawning the one you want. But obviously this option is not going to be available to everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Please share this with your friends. Share this with the Division community. I think this is going to save a lot of people a lot of time. Special thanks to the amazing people on Patreon. Shout out to 00, and hopefully I see you guys soon. Peace.